Hey, welcome to the show, live from Dennis's house. We have a great show for you today. We are going to be doing Janis Joplin, Cheap Thrills by Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the Holding Company here. And we have a very special guest, the great singer, Tara Elliott.
Thank you.
And even more than that, we have another treat. Tara's boyfriend is a professional chef, and we're going to be doing a whole cooking segment. He's out in the kitchen right now preparing some amazing feast. So while we get to the rest of the show, why don't we put a little of this record on, and let's go from there.
Here we go.
Here we go. Like
Cheap
surgeons.
Thrills.
Cheap Thrills. Look at that beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tradition that we smell the cover. I love that. Smell that. All that must in there. That smells like 1968,
and then the cover,
doesn't it?
how can we get this scene here?
Yeah.
The artwork is by Robert Crumb, a famous
Yes.
cartoonist. So I did
Yeah, we'll
that
show
to
all
you
the artwork on that.
guys.
All right, let me open this up. Hand the album over to me. Which is side one?
Definitely
Start on side
Yeah.
one here.
Combination
And-
of the two is the first track.
And if you don't notice, we have some guests in the background over there too. We have Little Boom and Anna sitting in the background on their phones texting.
Yes.
But we have an audience
Yes.
today, if you will.
It'll be fun to be
Yeah.
live.
So, so some of this album is actually live and some recording, I think.
Yes, it is. This is definitely live. Combination of the two. This little guy right here.
Yeah.
I
And-
absolutely love this song.
Yes.
It's a great opener for the album.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Let's hear this. See, I wonder if. Oh, listen to that. There we go.
That's badass. 100%.
Oh, man.
What's that? Is that like a tremolo? What is that? Right off the jump, it's like in your face.
I can see this like at the Fillmore or the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco,
Yeah, they
and
put it on
like
the Fillmore.
that light show that they have in the background, and
So
Janice
cool.
coming out. Can you even imagine seeing Janice live? I doubt that
My,
you
my
have,
heart
right?
would melt. Like I just got chills when you said that. I've seen so much footage, of course, and
Exactly.
grew up as a child listening to it, but I could only imagine.
Yeah.
I'd be on fire.
This is good stuff here. So we'll listen to this. We'll get back into
Okay.
the album. We'll talk all about different stuff here.
Sounds
But
good.
let's talk about you for a little bit. Tara is an incredible singer. She has a band, the Red Velvets, and they just before I get to this, you won the award for Best Female Vocalist from the Asbury Park Music Awards, right?
Yes, last year, yes.
Wow, that's quite impressive. I've been interrupted during the show by people when I told you we shouldn't have let them in here. Now they're already
But
interrupting
that's what
me.
makes it a party, you know, and it's good. This is good.
Well, they said that to lower.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, we can be heard over it, so we know.
So yeah, no, that was obviously, I mean, very exciting when that happened. I was completely shocked.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any kind of speech prepared. It was kind of like, I don't know, can we curse here?
Well, it's a family show. We don't
Okay.
know, but
Well, then,
yeah.
okay, probably not. But you,
I like
you
to
can
say
only
it's a
imagine.
family
You can
show,
only
but-
imagine the surprise words that I had to say. No, but no, I was really. I'm still happy about that. It's nice to get recognized locally.
Yeah.
Especially
From your peers, all a lot of great musicians in
from the
Asbury
area.
Park, you know.
Yeah, so it's very, very endearing. You know,
Yeah.
just when you think sometimes music is very hard when you're putting together your own music, original music, and gigging, and there's so many ups and downs. And when something like that happens, it's
It's
just makes
worth
you
all
feel
the
loved.
effort, right?
It makes you
know?
feel loved,
Yeah,
so
like
it's
someone's
nice.
acknowledging it. you know?
Yeah, so it's very
Well,
cool.
I'd like to take some time to acknowledge it. Oh, we didn't even notice this. I'll get to that in a
Oh, that's
second.
so
but
cute.
this, Tara just released her new CD. It's called
Yes.
Drop a Needle on the King. And it's an incredible CD. I
Thank
love
you so
this.
much.
That we'll listen to that later
Cool.
and all that. But it's so funny. It's called Drop a Needle on the King. And look at this. I got a little record player with Elvis on it, and
I
it plays
love it.
Viva Las
Let's
Vegas in
show
there.
them. How cute is that?
That works out good.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Here you go.
So
I love that.
I know that you're a big vinyl fan, and I'm just curious how that happened, because you are much younger than I am, and
Right.
even I was almost too young for vinyl. But
I grew up in a very strict household. My father is Irish Catholic, so I wasn't really allowed to go out a lot. So I kind of rummaged through the house a lot as a kid. So I ended up sneaking into the the attic upstairs, and I found their vinyl collection.
Ah, okay.
And so that's where it kind of all started. And I had
So
friends.
these were all your parents' albums?
I did have this Cheap Thrills one as my parents, but as a teenager I loved it so much, and I feel bad about it, but I actually cut it up so I could. I know it's sacrilegious, but I did it so I could showcase it and hang it up. But I of course regret it. But this particular album is even sweeter because a coworker of mine very recently, she knew that I was in love with vinyl. We were just talking about it one day at work, and she said, and she was from the 60s, of course, and she was older, and she mentioned that she has a whole collection, and one day she just brought it to work, and she said to me, I want you to have this. I'm not using it. I know you'll appreciate it. And these are all from the 60s. I have her whole collection. So I just was floored that someone was so sweet to do that.
Oh, that's great.
And I've been
feel free to give a shout out to her if you want.
That's Judy Cass. Judy Cass. She's a sweethart.
Very lovely woman. Now, how many records did you get?
Oh goodness. I mean, she wanted to give me more than honestly I could take.
I'll take them.
I know. I mean, I took it. It has to be like at least 50.
Oh, cool.
So it's great, and I've been kind of having this little thing at my apartment with my boyfriend. We call it Vinyl Sundays. Even though we're doing this today, but we play all the different vinyl. We kind of discover the vinyl that's played all day long.
Look at how this all comes together.
Yeah.
Your band is called the Red Velvets.
Yeah.
You always wear red velvet. You're not wearing it right now, and this is my jacket I wear.
This little red velvet.
Okay.
I'm definitely representing.
And do you have your boots?
My red velvet. Mary Jane's.
Oh, okay.
And then Doc Martin Mary Jane's.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And my show, I started it every Sunday morning. I have this vintage vinyl, easy like Sunday morning. I listen to records. Yeah, everybody loves this.
That's awesome. Very Hugh Hefner.
Yeah. So I want to read my favorite quote about you. But someone, I don't even know who wrote it, but it sounds awesome. She said, "She's been called the bastard child of Janis Joplin and the Stooges. There's not too often you get a quote like that someone actually delivers, and she delivers." That's awesome. And I hope everyone knows, when they say Stooges, it's Iggy Pop and the Stooges, not the Three Stooges.
Right, of course.
And let's talk about some of your favorite bands.
That's actually Keith Roth.
Yeah.
He was kind of quoting another quote that he heard of.
This is a quote of a quote.
It is. The original quote was from a writer for New York Junk, I believe. And that's a newspaper in New York, and his name is Tom Axe. And he called me and my band the bastard child of Janice and the Stooges.
Yeah, that's really a good way to put it, too.
Keith Roth did that, and Keith Roth kind of referred to that again and added more to it. And that was from his show on Electric Ballroom.
Oh, that's cool. See, and now I know you're a Stooges fan because I saw you this past summer at your Strip Down show, and it was such an amazing show. We're outside on the water, and it was like a rainy day before that, and then the sun came out as soon as you came on.
I thought we were gonna get rained out.
Exactly.
No,
and then
it was awesome.
The thing that I loved about the show is that you did stuff from Etta James, and then you did Iggy and the Stooges, I Want to Be Your Dog, and then you ended up with Black Sabbath, War Pigs, right?
Absolutely.
That was it's just stripped down, just her and a guitar, and you did a lot of all your originals. And
I wanted to pull everything out from different places because it was such a stripped down show with just me and Joe Taylor on electric guitar, and sometimes me on guitar as well. I just felt it was fun to pull out a lot of music from my past, like Etta James, because I first started just doing covers of blues and whatnot, and jazz, and it was nice to incorporate everything from what I do from back in the day to now, and it's fun.
And that's what I love. That's what being diverse and having all these different musical tastes. I can tell that you love everything from the beginning of time till now and stuff. Yeah, so and it shows on your CD here. Let's talk a little about this CD. I noticed my favorite songs, you have 20th Century Matahari on there and A Leopard Spots Don't Change. Those are my two favorites. These are great. Everyone should get this, check it out. Tell them how they could get this CD.
Well, all the links are going to be posted very soon on all my online sources.
And I'll post them here too. And on the show.
Facebook.com / The Red Velvets, THEREDVELVETS. And it'll be through all the regular sources, CD Baby, iTunes, Amazon, and all that good stuff.
Right. So now, tell me about this song, Death to Samantha, though. Death of Samantha.
Death of Samantha.
Now,
that's the only song on that album that I have not written. It was originally written by Yoko Ono.
Yes, that's what I found very interesting. I didn't, I never heard of any of her solo work or anything. Was this like on a Beatles album, or was it just, did she have solo albums?
There's actually a compilation that's going to be coming out. The executive producer, his name is Tony Donato, and he asked me to contribute a track. I had lost my home through Sandy, and although I was very excited that he asked me, I didn't have any money. And he said he wanted me on that no matter what, and he asked for me to sing that song. And initially, to be quite honest, I had heard Yoko, honestly, screaming in the Rolling Stones circus.
Yes, absolutely.
And to be honest, I'm a huge John Lennon fan, of course, and Beatles, and I just thought, I hope this song is cool. I don't want to scream.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love screaming in rock and roll. Who doesn't?
But could you
like
do that
AC/DC
type
screaming.
of screaming like she does?
I
like
could,
kind
but
of
it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not what I'd like to do. But however, I was completely incorrect in any kind of assumption whatsoever. I listened to the track, and then of course another big thing for me too is I don't like to sing other people's music unless I know the meaning behind it. So I did some research, and I realized it was a very intense song that Yoko wrote about. Just to give a little backstory, it was during another election for Nixon.
Come in.
We do have special guests who would like to come and
All right. Come on in. Bring it in. But we're in the middle of a story, so just come on in. Tara's going to keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead. So the backstory about Samantha.
So the backstory about Samantha. Sorry, got.
Nah, this is the beauty of the show. We just keep going no matter what happens.
I know. I just was
live
I get
TV.
so into my head here. Okay, so backstory of Death of Samantha.
Well, hold on. Let's introduce the guest here. We have
Hi.
Anna and her mother, Carolyn. This is Tara.
Nice to meet you.
And Loretta. Hi.
Loretta.
Nice
Wow,
to meet you.
everyone pile on the couch there. This is like a live show
It's
now.
a party.
All right, let's close the door. And we'll get back. We were just discussing Tara's song on her new CD. It's written by Yoko Ono, and she does the only cover version that she does. So she's telling the story about how Yoko wrote this song.
So basically, it was during the election, the second election that would have for Nixon to be president, and John Lennon was very upset because they were kind of on his case and everything.
Yeah, they were
CIA
trying to
and all
deport
that.
him and everything.
Yeah, it was very problematic. And when it was during the election evening, and when he heard that Nixon had won, he got very, very drunk, and he was in the same house with his wife Yoko Ono, and he slept with another woman.
Wow.
So it was obviously a very
Was
painful.
her name Samantha, the woman?
That's not stated anywhere, so I don't know that. But when you read the lyrics and I heard that backstory, I just knew, for me as a performer, as a singer, and of course you're an actress when you're all those things because you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes. I just knew that I could portray that and really dig my teeth into that kind of hearty material and relate to it, that it wasn't something that was just like meaningless screaming. It was like, something very intense that happened to her. So the second I learned of that backstory, I figured I could bring the song some justice and
you did a great version.
and enjoy it. Thank you.
I gotta say that if that was me, the song would be called "Death to Dennis."
From what I've read about Yoko, she's an extremely interesting character and woman, and
and I know what you were referring to, though, the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus.
Right.
I was just watching a clip like not too long ago where Chuck Berry is playing with John Lennon and they're doing some song. The whole group is there and stuff, and then Yoko just starts doing that caterwauling in the background, and Chuck Berry just stops and like rolls his eyes. He's like, "What's going on here?"
I mean, I understand what she was trying to do. She's all about the performance art, and it's something that I know John Lennon was into as well. It was like scream therapy, so I get it on a gut level. But as far as like the sound, to me, even if it's a scream, I prefer it to sound a little bit music-like.
So let's listen to a little more Janice here, and we'll talk about some more stuff. Listen to that. Did you guys ever see Janis Joplin live back there when you were babies? No coughing, it's a live show.
You okay back there?
So tell me about more of like your influences as a young kid. Who are your favorite artists?
Okay, so digging up the vinyl. Are you okay back there? All right. Would you like some water? I feel bad. So digging up the vinyl as a kid in the upstairs in the attic. That's actually how I found a Janis Joplin lyric book.
Oh yeah.
Pearl,
Wow.
and that's how I found an electric guitar, and no one knew whose it was. And eventually, it was like this big mystery, and I found it when I was like 6, 7 years old. And it's so funny because I played it at my shows now.
Oh,
And
really?
It's a 1969 Framus. 1 out of 115 were made. It's a Caravelle Framus, and it was made in Bavaria.
Wow,
It's
I never heard of this
absolutely
one.
beautiful and stunning. I haven't played it at my recent shows. I played it when my band is approximately 6 years old now. So in the beginning I played it, but because it's a hollow body, I got a lot of feedback. So it's hard to control in a live setting. And now I have a sponsorship with Airline.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your
Eastwood
guitars. That is the guitar that you have. That white guitar
Oh,
is
it's
beautiful.
beautiful. Thank you.
And now, what is that? You
It's
sponsored?
an Eastwood Airline map. And Mike Robinson, who is the president of Eastwood Airline Guitars, I scored a nice sponsorship with him, and
Wow,
so I've
that's
been
great.
playing those guitars because they have the beautiful look of that whole vintage, era.
Yeah, yeah.
However, they're new materials, so I'm not going to have the problems that I would
Absolutely.
necessarily have, live
Yeah.
on stage. So it's a beautiful instrument.
Yeah.
There's nothing,
That's a great
stunning.
sound too. I love that guitar. I
Yeah,
can't believe
the
when I see
pickups
that.
and
Maybe
the
I'll
look.
put a picture of it up later
sure.
if I can.
It's gilded too, so the way the air runs through it, it has like
Oh.
a beautiful tone.
That's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the first ever cooking segment of Live from Dennis. We have a very special guest. We have Chef Thomas Irwin. So tell us about where you work, Thomas. Where?
Right now, I'm currently working at the Watermark in Asbury Park.
Oh, that's a fancy restaurant. That's a great place. And where did you go to get your schooling and everything?
About a year ago, I graduated valedictorian from the Food Bank of Monmouth and Ocean County Culinary Program.
Wow, the valedictorian. Did you hear that? Not just graduating, he's the actual valedictorian. So Thomas was kind enough to come here today, and he's going to make a big fancy meal here for us. So what are you going to be preparing today?
Instead of doing mashed potatoes, I'm going to be doing a cauliflower mash with some garlic and blue cheese, as well as I'm going to do some little mini burgers or sliders
Wow,
with some port wine cheese.
that sounds awesome.
And we got some broccolini here.
Wow,
It's
never even heard of broccolini.
it's similar to broccoli rabe, but for the people that don't like the bitterness of broccoli
Okay.
rabe, it's really good.
All right. So is this easy for someone at home to prepare all this?
Oh, definitely.
yeah?
It's real easy.
You think I could prepare this? Never.
Sure.
All I know how to make is toast and Pop-Tarts, so I can do this one.
It's a little bit more involved, but
All right.
I also cheated when I do my cauliflower. I like to boil it a little bit first to cut down the cooking time, which I've already done. And I drained it, threw a little salt and pepper onto it, and now it's going to go into the oven.
Okay. You got that preheated too.
Yes. Preheated at 325. I turn, let's see. Yeah, it'll be fine at 325. Okay, while that's cooking, the other thing I'm going to do real quick is the broccolini. Again, I have some water boiling on the stove.
Okay.
I'm going to throw the broccolini in there and just partially cook it. And then I already have set up on the side here an ice bath. It's water and ice in a bowl. It stops the cooking process,
Okay.
and it keeps the nice color and keeps the nutrients and everything in the broccolini. In the interim, while that's going, I have about 2 pounds of ground beef here and a couple eggs. One of my favorite seasonings to use is Montreal steak seasoning. It already has pepper, salt, garlic, and a few other spices already in it. And what I do, for about anything from 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of ground beef, I usually use about 2 eggs.
You notice you can crack them with one hand.
Skills.
Yeah. And he's washing his hands so he doesn't give us all salmonella, I believe.
That I have. This is a white onion. I also use any sweet onion will work. White onion, Vidalia, mine, they all work. Any kind of sweet onion I usually use. One large one. And then some baby bella mushrooms that are chopped up. Some more trail seasoning.
What would you call that? Would you call that a pinch or a teaspoon?
It's a little bit more than a pinch.
A handful.
Looks like an Italian.
It's more like a douse. He doused it.
Wow, look at all that.
They're so good. Use your hands to mix it?
I always use my hands.
Me too.
To really get in there.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's gonna look better when it's done.
So the ladies are saying that you're adorable, Thomas.
Oh.
Take a bow, take a bow.
I'm saying it too.
Mazel tov.
These dishes and cuts, two best men in the world.
Oh.
That's it.
Alright, so my pan's all hot and now just a matter of cooking the burgers.
Okay, here we are. The sliders are out of the oven now. What did you put on top of here?
That's port wine cheese. I usually use the spreadable kind, it just melts easier.
Wow, that looks good. And how long did this whole thing take in that oven there?
I did it on the stove.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hamburgers cook on top, Gavin, not inside.
Of course.
It was how many we got here? About 150 of them
Yes.
here. And they took 15 minutes, I'd say.
I guess if you're a chef, you're just used to getting burned all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
You basically have no
You get
feeling
burned.
left in your hands.
So let's get rid of this stuff. Let's make the big presentation now. Everything's done. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
Wow, Thomas.
Yeah. Alright, so here we got the sliders. We got the broccolini, we got the slider buns, and we got the cauliflower. So should we put this all on the table and eat it from there, or make our plates and go back to the table?
No, I think put it on the table, right?
Fine with me.
What do you think?
Alright, Gavin, let's see, see
And
you put it on the
Dig in,
table.
Gavin.
See if you're worthy of working in their restaurant someday.
Yes.
And Thomas, you're going to
The
come and
Red
join us
Velvet
at the
Lounge.
table, and we'll discuss more about everything over there.
And I'm
I gotta say, we're also gonna be performing a live song later on by Janis Joplin, so forgot to mention that. And let me read a review now about your new CD. I love this. I'm gonna read it like in a announcer's voice.
Go
too,
for
so
it,
it'll
go
be
for it.
better. Tara Elliott is a singer that doesn't just walk into a room. Elliott explodes into it, letting you know in no uncertain terms that it's her brand that you should be paying attention to. It's not uncommon to watch Elliott outcuss and outdrink most men, and her penchant for over-the-top sardonicism is local music law. That colorful and self-confident attitude splashes and spills over the rim of her new record, Drop a Needle on the King.
That's the great John Pfeiffer from The Aquarium.
Oh, that was awesome.
He's
I'm not even sure.
fantastic.
I'm not sure what that word means, sardonicism, but it sounds good. So
I had to look it up
Yes.
myself. No, I'm kidding. Very similar to, I believe, sarcasm, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, that's what I figured too.
He's a fantastic writer.
So-
They all are. These local amazing writers are so supportive, and I'm so thankful for that. So thank you, John, Alex Spice, Gary Wayne. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Give a
Bill
shout out to
Bodkin,
anyone you want.
Bill Bodkin.
But you can't forget anybody. Now they're gonna come
I know,
after.
it's
Oh,
so
you forgot me.
difficult,
We'll worry
I
about that
know.
later. So,
On the spot.
where did you grow up? Did you grow up in New Jersey or?
I was originally born in New York, in Staten Island.
Whoa. Oh
Yeah.
well.
Well,
You mentioned my accent. I don't know if anyone could hear it. It's very subtle. But I also am from New York. My wife's from Brooklyn, and your mom was born in Brooklyn. You said.
My mom's from Brooklyn. My father's from the Bronx.
Wow.
So
there
we
you
have
go.
this cute little Wall Street romance going on in Manhattan, and that's how it all started.
Yeah.
So after 2 years, I was only in Staten Island for 2 years. Then my father scored a job with the Boston Stock Exchange. My
Wow.
father's a Wall Street man.
Oh, okay.
So he ended up working there, and I lived in Massachusetts till the age of
wow.
6. And then we moved to Summit, New Jersey.
Oh,
And I lived there for a while, and then I moved down here some time ago.
wow.
I'm a New York and a Jersey girl. I I love them both.
Yeah. I love the Jersey Shore. It's a great area down
I
here.
love
gotta
it
say.
here. I do. I love the ocean. I'm a mermaid. I'm a Pisces. You can't keep me away from what is it, Gunnison Beach at Sandy Hook. You can't keep me away from there. That's my favorite.
Is that the nude beach?
It is.
Whoa, that's something.
Yeah, that's what we think here as Americans. But I went to school in France, and it's very natural for people to bathe in the nude.
Or wear
And
Speedos
family.
over there too.
Well, that's a whole other story, honey. I ain't getting into that. But I mean, they bathe with their children, so it's just a very different,
different
lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love the freedom. So.
Yeah, that reminds me that the Olympics are coming up. They're in Russia this year, and I understand that you are a big fan of President Vladimir Putin and his his views and all that kind of stuff. You know, like his politics.
It's very upsetting.
About gay rights
It's
and
very
all that
upsetting.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. Would you like to elaborate on that, or?
I hate mixing politics with my
I
music,
know,
but,
it's just,
but the reality is,
Just,
I mean,
we're just sitting around talking. No one's
I'm
watching.
a confident bisexual woman. I came out years ago, and when I think of people that are being persecuted for being who they truly are, and they're not hurting anyone, when it comes to that, I mean, it almost reminds me of the Holocaust. It really does. I mean, the way that they're posting up propaganda and whatnot. So it's of course, it's not America. I can't expect them to be Americans, but I just feel like it's you know, basic civil rights over there. You know,
Yeah, they
basic
got a lot of
human
problems
rights.
over there.
It's very scary, and I do actually have Russian roots, so it hurt. It hits close to home. It's very upsetting.
And you know, also that the band Pussy Riot. Are you aware of what's
Yes,
going on
I
with
am.
them? This is
well, they got released.
Oh, they did.
They
I didn't even
recently-
hear that.
Yeah, they
'Cause,
did. When they first, I had gone to
let me
New
just,
York.
if anyone doesn't
Okay.
know who they are, Pussy Riot is this punk band in Russia, and they did a performance in
It
a
was a
church or
protest
something.
song,
Some sort of
and
protest.
that's how they got nailed, because it was considered sacrilegious because it was on quote unquote holy grounds, and they were imprisoned, and it was very serious.
Right, they were sentenced to like Siberia for many years or something.
Luckily, they recently got released, so that was
Wow.
at least, was it a year in prison? I want to say it's a year.
Mm.
So I had gone before they were imprisoned. One of the members of the Beastie Boys was a part of this party that I went to in New York, and we were all protesting, and it was pretty amazing. But
Wow.
they did go anyways. There was no way around it, unfortunately.
It's good that they're out though. So
Yeah,
you know,
amen.
who knows? So let's get back to Janice now. We've been digressing here now. So
Okay.
this is one of my favorite songs. Let's turn it back up here. That is, I believe this is Summertime she's doing now. This
The
is
register that she uses with her vocals, I've never heard anyone come close to
Yeah.
replicating. It's like,
This is
unbelievable.
quite amazing. This is a Gershwin song, right? Was this originally from Porgy and Bess? I don't know about that. It could be.
I know
wrong.
it's Gershwin, but
Yeah.
I know of Porgy and Bess, but I'm not that
Yeah.
huge of a.
You're not a huge Gershwin fan like I am.
I am a Gershwin fan, but I never saw that. That was the only one I think I haven't seen. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I don't know.
I like Barbra Streisand's version of Porgy and Bess. She's breathtaking.
That's right. I actually recall you saying you went to
I did.
Barbra Streisand during the summer or something
She's
for a
actually
concert.
a tremendous influence too, which I know a lot of people would think that's
Yeah,
kind
think
of
odd,
funny.
but you know.
But it's not odd at all. She's one of the. I have to say, it was the most impactful concert I've ever been to in my life. I was crying,
Really?
crying,
Wow.
laughing. She took us through a journey through every single emotion. She's just like her emotions. She's just like transparent. You can just take it right from her.
Yeah,
She-
it's
there's no escaping her. When you are in her presence and she's
She
performing, there's
commands
no
it.
escaping her.
she's a performer, you know, and that's
She's the best. There's no one like that anymore.
That's, you know,
Nobody alive that's like
that's what I gotta say. You know, certain people have star quality. I gotta say that's what I like about you. You have star quality. When
Thank
you're up
you.
on that stage, you know, you command the audience, you command the crowd, and you know, it's like I don't really like any current music. You know, there's nothing on the radio that moves me or
Nothing
anything.
that
You know,
stirs you.
exactly.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah,
Janis
yeah,
Joplin
yeah,
on the
yeah.
radio
Oh,
now.
yeah.
You know,
Trust
you got
me, I
Katy
know.
Perry, you got Pink, who we both like. You know, Pink is great.
They're all great
you know,
songwriters
they're all-
and performers,
and they're great
they
singers,
work
but
very hard. But there's just a whole other class of or caliber
Yeah.
that it's untouched.
yeah, there's nothing that can
No.
move you like this. It's amazing. So,
Amen. Amen.
Let's just sit here and listen to it.
Yeah.
You guys got anything to add back there?
I want to hear her sing again.
What do you mean? She didn't sing yet.
So let's take a look at the track list.
Show some of the tracks, show the pictures and stuff on the album.
On side 1, recombination of the two, I Need a Man to Love, which is actually one of my favorites. Very sexy song by Janice. Summertime. Piece of My Heart's next. I love on side 2 Turtle Blues.
Wow.
There's actually, they used a typewriter
Oh,
in the
really?
background, so it's like a cute little percussive.
Because I was reading something about
elements
that.
that they added.
When she first went to San Francisco, she hooked up with Yoma Kaukonen from Hot Tuna, and him and his wife, she was playing the typewriter and stuff. So
They used a typewriter in the recordings. Oh Sweet Mary, that's a great song. And of course, actually one of my huge favorites, which Janice did not write, it's Big Mama Thornton's song, but Ball and Chain is
Ball
like...
and Chain, I love that.
That is a hugely emotional, intense song.
Yeah. So of
then
course,
here,
this is
of course,
Piece
the
of My
classic.
Heart. This is a classic. Everybody knows this one.
It's a classic, but I have to say it's one of my least favorite of
Oh, really?
Janice's. There's just so many... Oh, no.
No, but let's, because we're running out of time.
Okay.
You see, this show goes so fast. It's having so much fun, right? You know, we gotta get to everything.
Yes.
So you wanna...
Let's listen to Turtle Blues.
All right,
There's just
we'll
so many
listen to
other
that.
songs that aren't as recognized that deserve the recognition.
Yeah.
So.
See, like I was telling you, this turntable is very slow and hard to use. So I gotta move quick. That's why I wish I had an engineer, Anna, back there.
There
Just
the tracks.
sitting there, doing nothing. What number is Turtle Blues?
Taking it all in.
The first track of the
Oh.
second side.
Perfect. So, the first song is always easy.
And then there's another picture.
Oh wait, listen to
of
the
Janice.
hissing. Oh, I love that sound.
Me too. So I showed this picture to my piano player when I was like 6 years old, and he made a very funny comment because it was a classical piano. I learned cello and piano and was involved in a lot of programs like that. And my piano teacher told me, he said, "Oh, there's another picture of her stoned," and I didn't know what that meant. And I was a child, and I was like, what? And I was older. I said, really? I'm like, I can't believe my classic piano teacher said that to me.
Yeah, that's all right. You know,
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
She had a rough life, you know.
She
It's,
did. No,
you
she
know,
did.
she died at 27. She was in the 27 Club with you know, a whole bunch of other great stars, and you know, she was from Texas originally, and
She had a lot of pressure back then to adhere to those like quote unquote female BS standards, and she was a pioneer.
yeah, she paved the way. Before her, you know, it's like her and Grace Slick came out at the same time, but I feel she had much more, you know.
I love Grace Slick too, but
Yeah.
Janice really paved that way. So
It's
it's
everywhere.
a lot of challenges.
I
that
don't
she-
think any girl, any guy, anybody actually, but especially a female singer, if you say that, oh, I don't like Janis Joplin, I'm not, you know, I
I
can't
can't
respect
talk to someone
that.
if they say that
Exactly.
they don't like Janis. I just like move aside.
Punch him right in the face. That's what you should do.
I agree. I agree
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
You got to know where you came from to know where you're going. Or
Amen.
something like that.
Amen. So this is what I listened to as a young girl.
Yeah,
so.
see, that's what. If you don't listen to the proper music when you're a kid, you don't have the right foundation, and you can't.
That
produce.
I have to give a huge shout out to my parents for, because I grew up on doo-wop and the Beatles and a lot of early 1960s music, and that was it for me. That's how I grew to love
That's it.
Janice, because they didn't introduce me to Janice.
Oh,
So
okay.
I found that actually through my uncle, my godfather. But
Oh, okay. And then how did you get involved into like the punk music and everything?
that was years later, because I went from the whole doo-wop Beatles thing to let's see, the psychedelic 1960s, and then blues. I found that.
Oh,
I found
okay.
Muddy Waters. So it was a whole experience,
Yeah.
a whole journey. And then one day I was watching a movie. It's called Pray for Rock and Roll, and it's with Gina Gershon and or Gershon, I don't know. And there's actually a sex scene between her and another woman, and I heard, it was pretty smoking, pretty hot.
Oh, hold on. What was that movie?
It's actually a fantastic movie. It's a biography.
Yeah.
But so Pray for Rock and Roll, Prey for rock and roll, and I heard the song "I Want to Be Your Dog" by Iggy and the
Oh, okay.
Stooges playing in the background, and I just stopped it and I said, "Who is that?" And it was the first time I heard in my brain. What clicked was he mashed together blues.
It
Did it stop?
no, it just at 30 minutes it shuts
okay.
down. I have a
Oh,
time, so we
okay.
know our time's up.
So it mashed together blues and punk, and proto-punk, that is, and that was just the beginning for me. I wanted to write songs like that, and it just clicked, and I knew that I could start my own expression
Do I have that CD
and
back,
not
please?
just be stuck in original or not original, but basic
So,
blues.
all right, so now time is up here, but we're going to go and we're going to do our cooking segment. We're going to have some food and wine, hang out. We're going to listen to Tara's CD. And, you know, so thanks for coming on.
Having me. Thanks for the
I hope
kind
you had a
words.
good time.
I did.
I hope you had fun. I hope you come back. We'll do Iggy next time.
Sounds
or
good.
whatever. We'll do Big Mama. You can come back as many times as you want.
Thank
so,
you.
well, we'll
Take
be
care.
performing a song and all this kind of stuff. So we got more to come. Stay tuned. Janis Joplin, Dennis and Tara.
Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, and I was feeling nearly as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed the diesel down just before it rained, rode us all the way to New Orleans. Well, I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft while Bobby sang the blues, yeah. Windshield wipers slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that the driver knew. Oh, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing ain't worth nothing, honey, if it ain't free love. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues, yeah. Feeling good was good enough for me, Lord. Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. Yeah. From the Kentucky coal mines to the California sun, yeah, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather and through everything that we've done, I said, now Bobby, baby, you kept me from the cold world. One day up near Salinas, Lord, I let him slip away. He's looking for that home, and I hope he finds it. But I trade all of my tomorrows for one single yesterday, to be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, yeah. Nothing ain't worth nothing, honey, if it ain't free love. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues, yeah. Feeling good was good enough for me, Lord. Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. La da da, la da la da da, la da la la da la da da. Hey, Bobby McGee. La da da, la da la da da, la da da la da da la da da. Hey, Bobby McGee. Yeah. Oh, you call him my lover, you call him my man. I said you call him my lover, just the best I can. Come on, where is Bobby Lover? Where is Bobby McGee? Yeah. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. Hey, 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 Bobby McGee.
Okay, welcome back live from Dennis's house, the cooking segment. We all got our sliders here now with the mashed cauliflower and the broccolini. So now this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Chef Thomas prepared this awesome meal, and now we're gonna taste it. Everybody dig in.
That's awesome. Dang.
Oh man,
Oh man. Don't you wish you were here?
that's the real deal. That's
Wow.
delicious, I gotta say.
Whoa.
I would never
The
eat
blue
that.
cheese cauliflower is
Oh,
amazing.
I didn't even have any of that yet. I just
Wow.
had the slider.
I love it.
Wow.
That is delicious. The blue cheese cauliflower is delicious. Now,
To Chef Thomas.
let's have some broccolini first.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Mmm. Yep.
Chef Thomas.
There we go. Chef
There we
Thomas.
go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Delicious.
Oh,
Sounds like Tara's phone.
wow. I would hope that was your phone. Because that's pretty cool.
Conversation's
My
gonna be recorded.
mother.
Yeah, that's good. Let's record on mine.
Hello,
This is good.
mother. My Jewish mother from Brooklyn. Ma, we're on a show right now. We're eating Thomas's food. My mother went to the same high school as Barbara Streisand. I went to Erasmus in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's why she loves
There's
it so
some
much.
history there.
What-
She just adores her.
Yeah.
I mean, that
What was she like in high school?
Did
Oh,
they
wow,
know
they
each
went
other
together
at
in
the
high
same
school.
time?
Not the same time. Barbara's a little older than my mom, so.
Mhm.
Imagine that.
I can't.
Yeah,
It's
it's
unbelievable.
exciting.
I went to high school with some famous people.
Who?
You did. He did actually. with
I went
Salt
to
and
high
Pepper,
school in Queens.
right?
Justin Salt and Pepper went to my high school.
Oh my God! Speaking of salt and
Martin
pepper.
Lawrence went there.
Nice.
Martin, I love Martin.
Did
The Fat Boys, Run
DMC,
DMC, the little further down,
Okay.
with LL Cool J too, and Run
Yeah.
DMC
Did you know any of them?
from Hollis. No, I didn't.
LL Cool J's
No.
daughter was at FIT with me.
Was she?
Wow.
Was she LL Warm J?
LL Cool J's daughter was cool, but what was it? Magic Johnson's daughter sucked.
Wow.
Oh,
so-
really?
We're recording all this, by the way. I hope you don't mind. Yeah.
He's talking junk about Magic Johnson.
Now gather.
Do you guys remember these little things that they had when, it was years ago? These little Mickey Mouse microphone recorders. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
From way back when.
Way back.
So I had one of those when I was a kid, and it was a cassette player, and he had like Mickey Mouse was like the recorder. So I'd run around the house like in Massachusetts around like 5 years old, and I'd just be like, woo, screaming and singing. And my parents were like, what's going on, So the second they saw it, because you're just a kid, you don't know. So I was just kind of playing around, and they got me into the voice lessons. So there's
Boy,
like
swear to make some
lessons.
money off of this kid.
No, they spent a lot. They did.
That's
My father was totally all about that. I mean, as a kid, I was doing ballet, tap, and jazz. But the second they saw the music, because they love dressing a little girl. Those
Yeah.
parents loved all
Oh.
that. But with the singing, I was in church choir and Catholic. My whole young child life or whatever, childhood, and then what else? And then all throughout school, I was just doing choir in school. So I was always involved in music, and my parents got me, those lessons. And then I stopped all that because I wanted to do my own thing. It wasn't the material that I do now. It was Broadway or Christian music. And then I started getting into blues, and that's when it started happening. People said nice things to me at school and stuff like that, but I didn't have this kind of voice. I just discovered that on my own. I found out who Muddy Waters was. One day I just walked into a to a music shop, and I didn't know who he was. I just saw his picture on the cassette, and you know the way he looks. He looks like a Buddha. He's smiling and glowing. And I was totally drawn. Everyone else was listening to U2 or I don't know, and I was just totally drawn to his face. And I was like, who the hell is this? And I brought it home and I listened to it, and that was kind of it for me. It was that and Janice and singing at home, and I just started singing open mic nights in New York and stuff. And I didn't really know myself. People just kept coming up to me and saying stuff, and then I just kind of figured it
Really
out.
down.
I ended up singing that for my brother's wedding.
Wow.
And I just was so touched.
Oh my God! You're singing your brother's wedding? I've been freaking out.
Could you imagine?
It was just a cappella too, and it was in this beautiful promenade. It was gorgeous in Oregon. It
Wow.
was really nice. Yeah.
Here's your wedding gift.
That was what it was, because I didn't have any money.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I tried that at my brother's wedding. It didn't go over.
Yeah, right. I was like, yeah.
No way, Janice. I want the check.
Yeah.
I want double money for you singing.
Yes, really.
Leopard spots never change, right? This also about Thomas.
No. This was written right before, about a year or so before I met Thomas. This was written about an ex.
Yeah, so there you go. This, love this song.
Yes,
Let's all sit back.
It's interesting that people love something when it was written from such a sad.
Well, that's where the best stuff comes from, That's why you
I was
gotta be careful.
crying when I wrote this.
Don't
song.
get too happy. You're gonna lose all your creativity.
Peter, Thomas, Peter, Patrick.
I'm such a pain in the ass. Ask him. I could never be too happy. So I have my happy moments, but it's that whole artist composure.
That may be a whole woman thing.
I was just gonna say, Tara, I have happy moments. Being truly happy
Yeah.
is a chocolate.
You know who's truly happy?
It's tough.
Stupid people. They
Children.
don't know enough not to be happy.
I guess it's because I'm always striving for
Children
more.
should be truly happy.
Yeah, of course.
Children should.
Yeah,
But I think that we all should be happy. What if we all died tomorrow?
Exactly.
What if we all died tomorrow? That's what I always get worried about. I think, you know,
Alright, your mom again. Come on.
Either.
it's not her. It's this darn Facebook.
Ah,
Let me turn that off. Sorry. But I get worried about. I always think about, you know, obviously not here forever, and then we should concentrate on what actually does make us happy. Because when we waste our time on BS or whatever, you know, people talking smack about other people, it's not worth it. It's a waste of time. It was.
Alright, well, our time has come to an end here. So everyone say goodbye, and thanks for Thomas and Tara for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
And great show, great CD, great performance, great everything.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
A 10.
10!